The night of the gala shimmered with elegance, but beneath the dazzling lights and carefully curated appearances, something far more subtle was unfolding. Fans around the world were quick to notice it, yet it wasn't loud, nor was it designed to be obvious. It was quiet, almost delicate, like a secret whispered between two people who didn't need words to understand each other. Zhang Linghe arrived looking composed, every inch the star the industry knows him to be. Cameras flashed relentlessly, capturing his every step, every glance, every carefully measured smile. Yet, despite the grandeur of the moment, there was a softness in his demeanor that seemed slightly different from his usual public persona. Not long after, Tian Xiwei made her appearance, radiating grace and effortless charm. Her presence lit up the room in a way that felt natural rather than staged, drawing attention without demanding it. The energy shifted subtly, and those who were paying close attention could feel it almost immediately. Though they were not always seen side by side, there was an invisible thread connecting them throughout the evening. It revealed itself in fleeting glances, in moments so brief they could easily be missed if one wasn't looking closely enough. Yet, for fans who have followed their story, these fragments spoke volumes. At one point during the event, Zhang Linghe was seen turning his head ever so slightly in Tian Xiwei's direction. It wasn't a dramatic gesture, nor was it meant to be noticed. But the timing, the softness in his expression, suggested something deeply personal. What made the moment even more touching was how natural it seemed. There was no performance in it, no attempt to draw attention. Instead, it felt genuine, like an instinct rather than a decision. And in an industry often defined by spectacle, authenticity like that becomes incredibly powerful. Observers also noticed how Zhang Linghe subtly adjusted his posture whenever Tian Xiwei was nearby. It was a small detail, almost imperceptible, but it carried meaning. His body language softened, his movements became more relaxed, as if her presence brought him a quiet sense of comfort. Meanwhile, Tian Xiwei carried herself with her usual confidence, but there were moments when her gaze lingered just a little longer than expected. It wasn't enough to confirm anything outright, yet it was enough to make hearts flutter and imaginations wander. One of the most talked about instances occurred during a group interaction. Surrounded by other celebrities, both maintained their composure, yet there was a brief exchange of glances that seemed to freeze time. It lasted only seconds, but it told a story that words could never fully capture. Fans quickly began dissecting these moments, replaying clips, analyzing expressions, and sharing their interpretations. What they found wasn't just coincidence, but a pattern, a series of subtle, consistent gestures that hinted at something deeper. It wasn't just about eye contact or proximity. It was about timing, about the way their attention seemed to gravitate toward each other even in crowded spaces. It was about how, despite everything happening around them, there was always an awareness of the other's presence. For many, these hidden signals felt more meaningful than any public declaration could ever be. In a world where relationships are often announced with grand statements, this quiet connection felt refreshingly sincere. There was also a moment when Zhang Linghe appeared to slightly nod in Tian Xiwei's direction during a conversation. It was quick, almost reflexive, but it carried a sense of acknowledgement that didn't go unnoticed. What made these gestures so compelling was their subtlety. They weren't designed for headlines or viral clips. They existed in the in-between moments, the spaces where authenticity tends to reside. As the night went on, the pattern continued. Their interactions remained understated, yet undeniably present. It was as if they were communicating in a language only they understood, one that didn't require words or overt actions. Fans described the experience of watching these moments as both thrilling and emotional. There was a sense of witnessing something intimate, something real, even if it was only through a screen. Some viewers noted how Zhang Linghe's expression seemed to soften whenever Tian Xiwei was within his line of sight. It was a subtle change, but one that added another layer to the unfolding narrative. Others pointed out how Tian Xiwei seemed unusually at ease during the event. While she is always poised, there was an added warmth in her demeanor that suggested she felt completely comfortable in that environment. These observations, while small on their own, combined to create a larger picture, one that felt deeply human and relatable. It wasn't about perfection, but about connection. The beauty of these hidden signals lies in their ambiguity. They leave room for interpretation, allowing fans to engage with the story in their own way. And perhaps that's what makes them so powerful. In many ways, these moments reflect the reality of how people connect in real life. Not through grand gestures, but through quiet understanding, through shared glances and unspoken acknowledgement. As clips from the gala continued to circulate online, the conversation only grew stronger. Fans weren't just discussing what they saw, they were sharing how it made them feel. For some, it was a reminder of the beauty of subtle affection. For others, it was a source of hope, a glimpse into a connection that felt genuine in a world often filled with uncertainty. The narrative that emerged wasn't built on confirmation or denial, but on emotion. It was about the feeling that something meaningful existed, even if it remained unspoken. Zhang Linghe's quiet gestures became the focal point of this narrative. They weren't dramatic, but they were consistent, and that consistency made them impossible to ignore. Tian Xiwei's responses, equally subtle, added depth to the story. Together, they created a dynamic that felt balanced, natural, and deeply intriguing. As the gala came to an end, the moments lingered. They didn't fade with the lights or disappear with the crowd. Instead, they stayed with those who had witnessed them, replaying in minds and conversations. In the days that followed, fans continued to revisit the footage, finding new details, new interpretations. Each viewing revealed something slightly different, adding layers to an already rich narrative. What makes this story so captivating is not just what was seen, but what was felt. It's the emotional resonance, the sense of connection that transcends the screen. In a world where so much is curated and controlled, these unscripted moments stand out. They remind us that even in the spotlight, genuine emotions can still shine through. Whether intentional or not, Zhang Linghe's subtle signals created a ripple effect, touching fans in ways that go beyond simple admiration. They sparked conversations, inspired interpretations, and most importantly, evoked emotion. And perhaps that's the true power of moments like these. They don't need to be loud or obvious to make an impact. Sometimes, the quietest gestures carry the deepest meaning. As the story continues to unfold, one thing remains certain. Fans will keep watching, keep feeling, and keep believing in the possibility that what they saw was real. Because in the end, it's not just about what happened at the gala. It's about the connection that was felt, the emotions that were stirred, and the quiet beauty of something left unsaid.